It's not only Charles, that is King Charles III, who is making a transition here. You alluded to it earlier on when we were talking about Diana. Camilla is, in fact, probably going to be the one who is making the most of a transition here, from being mostly behind the scenes and then slowly emerging into public life beside then Prince Charles, and now taking on the role of Queen Consort. The change that will be required of her over the next couple of weeks and months and years, both as a companion to the king and in her own right as Queen Consort, will be formidable, wouldn't it?
Yes, it will. This is a transition that is extraordinary, to be honest with you. This is something we've never seen before. Most people were not at all fans of the Queen Consort, Camilla. They blamed her for the breakdown of the marriage of the then Prince and Princess of Wales, Prince Charles and Diana, Princess of Wales. But I have all the time in the world for Her Majesty Queen Camilla. This woman entered the royal family, literally almost the most hated person in the world. People were horrible to her. They actually threw stale bread rolls at her, tried to poke her through the window of her car when it was in motion, saying horrible, hateful things. But she smiled. She carried out her duties with dignity, with grace, never once complaining, uttering a word, never saying that she didn't want to serve the public, ever. She wanted to be by the side of the man that she loved, and if that's what it took to do it, she would put herself in a compromising position in order to be where she was then and where she is now. She has put up with so much, but Her Majesty knew that as well. And for the years of quiet service of the 17 years that the king has been married to his queen, we have to look and see exactly what Camilla did over the last 17 years. And it was so much so that she was actually created a companion of the Order of the Garter, which is the most senior order of chivalry in Europe. Goes back to I think it's Edward II or Edward III who actually created this. And the Queen made sure that she installed Camilla rightly in her own right and not as just the wife of the future king at that point in time. But also look at the decorations that the Queen bestowed upon Camilla. Look at the orders that she belongs to. But also, more importantly, look at the endorsement. We wouldn't be calling Camilla the Queen Consort had it not been for the Queen actually saying, I wish, my only wish and last wish is that Camilla be known as Queen Consort. That speaks volumes of somebody who was not approved by the royal family as the correct type to marry the Prince of Wales when they were in love and they were young. This is a complete 180-degree turn from the way the Queen viewed the affair as to where we are today. So when we look at the relationship between the king and the current queen, it is a love story. It is one that might have a tinge of sadness and a tinge of tragedy. But the true fairy tale has come to be with the correct people in the script at this point in time. This is something also that people need to now accept. There is a strange sort of cult of Diana, if you will. They will never forgive Charles. They will never forgive Camilla. You ruined the life of a beautiful 18-year-old girl. Well, there's so much more, and this is a story for later, as to why things turned out the way they did. What we're looking at now is absolutely something we've never seen in history. The king was able to marry his sweetheart, who is now going to be and is called Queen Consort. This is something that is absolutely extraordinary, and I wish, of course, the king as much luck as I can, but more so for the Queen Consort, because she will still come up against a lot of unjust and unfair thought, and a lot of what history will throw at her from people who do support Diana in Diana's claim to be where Camilla is now. So my heart goes out to her. This is not something that she would want for herself. She is where she is out of love, but it's never been about her. It's never been for her. She was happy for things to go on the way that they were, so the spotlight wasn't going to be on her. It's not ever what she wanted. So for Camilla now to have to take up the role as Queen Consort, she's going to need as much luck, love, and support from the public as we can give her.
Given that situation as